Hello everybody, I'm Heian Nidan. In this video I want to share with you a sequence of drills that we recently did in the dojo relating to Pinan Shodan or Heian Nidan. So those who are familiar with my approach will know that I espouse a four-stage approach to kata. Namely that we learn the kata, we learn the bunkai, we identify the underlying principles demonstrated by the bunkai so we can adapt and vary, and we gain live experience of applying both the techniques and those principles. So learn the form, learn the bunkai, identify the principles, gain live experience of doing it. And there's other videos where I explain that in a little bit more depth. So in this particular day in the dojo, we'd gone through the kata, which isn't shown in this clip. We then did our set drill for it, which some of you may be familiar with. So it's like an uppercut across and a hammer fist while controlling the limb and then moving behind the enemy to take them down, give them a punch and run away. So we did the set drill. We then take it onto the pads so they get a chance to work the impact, so actually hitting hard with the strikes of the kata and the finishing blow and they've hit the ground. And then what we do is we start playing with it. So this is stage 3. We're playing with the principles. So we say, well, okay, how can we work this from a clinch or a grip? We'll look at how that can, different ways in which the same concepts can be applied. Having done that, we also looked at a technique from Pinan Nidan or Heian Shodan, the Ginambarai, the punch, which is an armbar. We've done a similar thing with that process, and then we start to combine them. Later on in the class, which isn't shown here, what we did is, okay, we've worked those techniques, and now I want you to try and work them into our live grappling practice. So we had all 4 stages within one single session, and you see how flexible and adaptable and relevant the kata can become. So that's a little bit of a background, so hopefully you better understand what you're watching. And now let's look at the footage from the dojo. So you can see what we're doing, right? So you've got from Shodan the central idea of I control the limb. If it's high, I go here. If it's middle, I go there. If it's there, I go there. And we're just working on the pads, right? As we say, that's an example. It's an example. It's just saying where your arm is. So working from this clinch and the grip we've been working on, if I get to there, I've still got an arm. So the fact I'm starting with a different position doesn't matter. Once you've got that, I want you to do this. Okay, I want you to switch it up that arm. Once you've got it, see where it's facing. So I want you to just go straight to movement 2. Is that okay? So in the kata itself, you've got 1, 2, 3. And it's not saying do that as a combination, it's mapping out options. So it's saying this is one of the things you can do. And when you've got that arm, so in this position here, same as you've been doing, as you go to push it, switch. Is that okay? So you see when I pull this arm through, and as I did it, I'm switching my feet over. So I've got it here, I'm now on the outside with the hand grip, move the second move of shoulder. Now the fact I started from a different position is an irrelevance because the kata is just showing me a principle. Slide it through, onto here, push it to the ball, bang, bang, when his head's down from that grip. I haven't quite finished with him yet, but we'll get him softened up for something severe in a minute. Is that okay? Okay, quick on a couple of quick things then just to recap. So remember, grind it through. It's not one fluid move, you'll grind it through. You'll get this, you'll keep your shoulder pushed in, you'll grind yourself. Right, from there again, as you pull an arm through, that's when you make the switches. We've just been talking about, if he's got a really tight grip on that arm still, so you manage to get through to here, as you slide this up, you might be able to do that switch. Right, so start looking for a back instead. You know what I mean? So when you feel this arm, it's got the lift, this is fantastic, right? So the easiest way to drop him is not get behind him and throw him, it's to punch him in the face and he falls over. So that would be our preference. So for now, we'll assume that we're able to get his arm free. So anyway, got to this point, pull this arm through, that arm is came loose, now we're in this position. Now hopefully, what I've happened is I can bang, bang, he falls in a big heap and that's it. If he's still here, one of the options I've got, because I've still got this arm, is I can use the Ginambarai from Nidan. So when we do the Ginambarai 45 degrees, we sit through and do the hit, right? So it's the same initial start, grind this through, push this, pull to here, bang, 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 it's still going. Move this way a little bit too. So I want you from there, you're going to roll the arm back to here, while you're doing the hit. And that's it, we're not looking for a submission, we're just looking for movement. You've then got that option, or this option. I'll let you decide which one you want to do. Keep hold of the arm when you do it, so he's got one less out to protect his face when if you're doing the kick. Alright, so from here, grind that across, get to here, push his arm through, great, now it's that, bang, 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 ball, crack, Alright, so the kata doesn't punch, but we're going to vary it. Is that okay? And then we'll take on the pads in a minute. Tips got a pad on, same thing, turn through to here, pull this arm through, turn and twist. Puts the pad up where his head would be, so slightly low because his head was here. So he wants a pad in roughly the same place, right? Through those, right? Turn it over from there, puts the pad this way, on the fist, turns it the way, drives the kick. Is that okay? Just so you get a feel of doing it for impact. So it's just the Pinan stuff, varied, you know what I mean, which is what was supposed to happen. So our basic, you know, Tagumi style movement, right? Switch, movement from Shodan, arm bar from Nidan, hammer fist from Nidan, kick to the face because it's full. Is that okay? Is that alright? Just as like, and again, it's just kind of mixing the kind of principles and just taking it, rather than working it from the limb control range, we're working it at the grappling range. But if you understand the principles, it shouldn't matter. Is everyone okay to grab on the pads? Awesome. So I hope you found that of interest and I hope you were able to follow it. Obviously we didn't film everything we did, but I hope that gives you a kind of flavour for some of the things that we did in that particular session. And this is typical of the way we approach kata. It's also, you know, when the students are doing the set drills as well, they always offer each other a degree of resistance too. So in the early days not, when they're just learning the technique, they'll do it with complete compliance. But very quickly I always, you know, I want the mess, I want the dirt. So when we were doing that little kind of like gripping switch, then they would start resisting each other a little bit. Still allowing them to practice what they want to practice, but making it that little bit messy, making, you know, the energies more closely resemble a real fight. And as we say, at the end of the day, you know, we're doing various sparring drills. When we got the grappling stuff, I said, right, we're going to grapple. What I want you to try and do is make sure you get to the outside, land those shots. You can do that little armbar pop if you want, you know, and then finish up however you want to. So the students started to try and work that into live practice. And it's when we do that stuff, when we see beyond the kata, to all the various ways in which we can drill it, the various ways we can mix and match, and how we can give it free rein in live practice, that's when kata has its most value. So I hope this video was of some use in trying to communicate those points.